Yes, that was a Saba Fan. And I am too, because that's where I'm from. It's the home of the armadillo and the pecan capital of the world. To tell you where it's located, if you took a huge arrow and you shot it from the northeast tip of Texas all the way down to the bottom tip, and you shot it from El Paso all the way up to Louisiana, it would cross right at Saba County. Saba County is in the shape of a fan. The outside border is formed by the Colorado River. The Saba River emerges from many springs. It runs in a northeasterly direction across the middle of the county and empties right into the Colorado River. In 1755, some Spanish monks came upon the river on the day of their Holy Saturday. They called the river Santo Sabado River, which is Holy Saturday in Spanish. They established a mission which was later raided by warring Comanches. All inhabitants were killed and the mission was burned to the ground. Many settlers came to Saba looking for the lost mines. When I was about 3, there were some diggers that gave me something they found. It's an ammonite. So that means Saba was under the ocean at one time. The county was organized in 1856 and Saba was voted to be the county seat. The first courthouse was built in 1857 and the present-day structure was completed in 1871. The first newspaper in all of West Texas was founded in 1873 in Saba and called the Saba News. It is still in print. At that time there were still Indian raids. The last Saba citizen to be killed by the Indians was in 1875. A man named E. Rision was a young Englishman, and back in 1874 he was traveling through Saba and he got real interested in the pecans he found there. What do you think? He ended up devoting his life to grafting them and developing some very wonderful paper shell pecans. Oak trees are also abundant. An impressive 400-year-old oak tree is listed in the famous trees of Texas. On out the road from the oak tree is where the Regency Bridge is located. It was the area's first bridge over the Colorado River. It has been rebuilt twice and is one of the last remaining suspension bridges in Texas. It has just one lane and a timber floor. The school was built in 1910 of limestone and faced with sandstone. It served all grades until 1924. In 1961 it was torn down to make room for the newer buildings. Here's a picture of some students standing in front of the high school. Notice the boys are smoking. One of the main springs in the county is located just beyond the courthouse square. It pumps out 7 million gallons of water daily. There are 71 acres of parkland, which include a spring-fed lake with a waterfall which cascades over rocks landscaped with ferns, moss, and caladiums. The water then flows under a bridge and winds through the park past the water wheel.
Back in the early 50s, I won a contest to name the swimming pool in Saba, and I named it the Pecan Pool.
In 1928, my uncle, Dr. R.C. Felts, moved from Kentucky to Saba. He loved hunting and fishing, and Saba County has 500 miles of rivers and streams. He then began to talk my father into moving there. Here's a 1935 picture showing how he influenced him. After finishing dental school, Dr. Felts, my father, moved to Saba. In 1938, my parents got married, and she came from the same Kentucky town that my father did. Her friend said, "You're moving off to some unknown place." And then there was the great flood of 1938. The highest crest was 45 feet above flood stage. This made the national news. My mother's friends now knew where she was. We used to get out of school several days a year due to flooding. My sister was born in 1940, and I was born 13 months later, right before Pearl Harbor was bombed. 5 years later, my uncle delivered Tommy Lee Jones. A few years ago, Tommy Lee bought the ranch that is just below Chapel Hill.
Yes, it's the home of the armadillo.
Chapel Hill is right outside of town, and the lights of 4 towns can be seen from it. When I was 6 years old, We went to the train station to have a picnic and watch the train go by. The train came past and the conductor threw me a funny book. It was a Mary Marvel funny book. I thought, he must know my name. That is when I started calling myself Mary Marvel. The last passenger was carried on the train in 1958. Then the train station was sold and moved to Austin, right near where I live now. Here you see the Sanderson House and the First Baptist Church, which is on the main street, which is Wallace Street. And there you see the hotel and Harry's department store. My sister painted this picture in 1963. And there's the Church of Christ, and the Methodist and the Presbyterian churches are on other streets close by. Harry's department store was started in 1939. Harry Shapiro was the mayor of San Saba. He was also the president of the LCRA. And in Austin, there is a building named after him.
Hey lady, you're not allowed to take a picture of the building. I'm gonna have to write you a citation.
The jail is the county's oldest existing public building. It was erected in 1884. It is the oldest functioning jail in the nation. It's a little known fact that Captain America was put in jail while filming Easy Rider.
Those grab dodgers, they ought to be shot.
Yes, Easy Rider came through town the day of the rodeo. There was also a big parade of floats and a band. Here's a reenactment so you can see it.
Parading without a permit? What do you mean? Do you know who this is? This is Captain America.
Well, thank you, Bob, for not telling the powers that be. Here's to the first of the day, fellas. To old D.H. Lawrence.
Indians.
We're gonna drink more of this at Mardi Gras.
We didn't have a television in San Saba until I was 12 years old, so there were a lot of things to do outside. That's my first cousin, Jordan Shipley's grandfather. And if nothing else, you can go and hunt rattlesnakes. Gasoline is poured down the hole, and mirrors are used to look for the emerging snakes. However, the snakes may come up behind you. San Saba is home to the armadillo, its school mascot, and home to the hunter.
Right here somewhere.
Sorry, guy, we had to abuse you so bad.
Yes, it's the